How's it going, everybody? It's Cody here with our Lorcana Rise of the Floodborn 1K winner, Josh Schindler. So how's it going today, Josh?
Feeling good.
Feeling good?
Can't complain.
So how'd the tournament go for you?
The tournament went much better than expected. Round one, I did lose to an Amber Steel, which is like my word. I was playing Amber Amethyst, Hyper Aggro. But yeah, I think overall the tournament went really good. I got paired into a lot of favorable matchups. Round one, I did lose to an Amber Steel, which is a very unfavorable matchup. But the rest of the day, I was facing Ruby Amethyst and Ruby Sapphire, which I think my deck has a really favorable matchup into. One drop Maleficent, one drop Lilo, into a Pinocchio, into just infinite one drops. Really helps out in that match.
Yeah, so as far as I'm aware, everybody was expecting set 2 to really shake up the meta, but from what I saw today, the playing field seemed pretty still streamlined towards the Ruby Amethyst builds. Yeah. Granted, it's not necessarily the control deck anymore. So what is it that's going on there? Why are we seeing such an influx of more red and purple decks?
Yeah, I think with set 2, Amethyst got got access to a lot of new cards. You have the Madame Mim plus Merlin package with Arthur. I think those cards are just really good. Merlin Goat just is everywhere. I'm playing Merlin Goat. Even the Ruby Amethyst, like typical control decks, are playing it now, and it really gave that deck what it was missing, which is that early game. Being able to play a Madame Mim Snake 1/2 and have a 3/3 that can contest my Simbas and other 1-drops really helps that deck in the early game, and then you still get that access to that late game stuff now with Maui, and now you get Lady Truemaine, and ultimately you get to your Elsas and Maleficents. So I think Ruby Amethyst is definitely a deck, a top contender in set 2 so far. But it is a little bit different. You're going to see it come out a lot earlier. You're going to see it do things a lot sooner than, set 1. It was typically not popping off until turns 5 or 6. Now it can do so in turns 4 or 5.
All right. So I know set 2's only been out for somewhere around the neighborhood of 3 weeks at this point. Yeah. So do we think we're going to see more players kind of shift away from the Ruby Amethyst deck, kind of like we did with set 1? Right at the beginning, everybody was on it for the control, and then over time, people just started toying around with other things. Do we think we're going to see the same thing happen here with set 2?
Oh, yeah.
Or do you think people are very much on the Arthur and Goat Merlin track?
I think that deck will be around for definitely the duration of set 2, but I think like we saw in set 1 where everyone hopped on Ruby Amethyst, it was the hottest deck right out of the gate. I think as set 2 once the cards become more available and people start experimenting, I think you'll see kind of a shifting meta, an evolving meta where, you get these aggressive or like aggro decks start to take over the more Ruby Amethyst and Ruby Sapphire get popular. And then you'll start to see the rise of Amber Steel, which I was expecting to be a pretty top deck today. And turned out there was only one Amber Steel deck in the whole tournament. So I think you'll start to see a shift as the aggressive decks start to take over. You'll see Amber Steel start cycling back in, and it'll kind of be this revolving meta like it was in set 1.
Well, that's always good to hear, to know that it's not just going to be a stagnant, you play these 4 decks or you just lose. So we'll definitely be looking forward to the next event. Do you have any other input for us tonight?
No. I just want to thank everybody. Thank you, Level Up, for putting this event on. I had a blast, and looking forward to the next one.
All right, fantastic. Thanks again for coming out, Josh. Congrats again on the win, and we will see you for the next one.
Awesome. Thanks.